What's up guys, NepentheZ here and welcome back to another episode of The Road to Glory. Once again, thank you guys for the support on the videos. If we could try and smash 5k likes on today's video, that would be awesome. What you're seeing first of all guys, for the first sort of like 3.5-4 minutes, is stream highlights. So what I decided to do this time was just take the gameplay. I streamed a bit of COD actually, but I streamed FIFA whilst I was waiting for the COD buddies to arrive. And yeah, I basically got a few games here. I did some bronze pack method on stream as well, but there's no point showing you guys that because we do that all off camera, and then I just show you the trade pile and what sells. But here's some of the gameplay from the stream. I think this is probably a better format. The only reason why I didn't initially want to do this is because, first of all, I've already got a face cam in the top right, which obviously this face cam is now sat over the top of, which means I have to mute the whole audio, which means I have to put like music on the video rather than the game audio. And I quite like the game audio when I like commentate over the top. I like listening to the game audio in the back, so we don't have that. And also, from time to time, you'll see a little pop-up on the screen, drop down, which is a subscriber of the stream, which I don't really want to put in videos, but I guess it doesn't make that much of a difference. So we could do it. We could do it like this, I guess. Really. Anyway, I've picked a whole bunch of questions, some great questions in my opinion. The first one is from Joshua Holland. It says, "Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god." He actually only said it once. "I did the bronze pack method seriously for the first time and I made so much profit. Thanks, Nep." Like, so he can see. Yeah, dude, this current SBC was really good for. It was really good for bronze pack method due to the fact that you needed English League 3 and English League 4, or like third tier and fourth tier players from obscure nations. So I ended up personally making about 120,000 coins off of it. I know a lot of people made a lot of coins off of it, and this is just one of those things that shows that the bronze pack method is more about longevity and the long-term profit and not the short-term profit. I know I use my fitness cards, my individual fitness cards. I sell the squad fitness cards. I know I use my individual fitness cards this year, whereas previous years I'd sold them. But I think I've adapted to the bronze pack method because what you have is you have players that you'll be able to sell for 1,000 to 3,000 coins, sometimes 6,000 to 10,000 coins, but on average 1,000 to 3,000 coins for squad builder challenges at any given time. You get squad fitness cards that will sell for 800 to 1,000 coins, all injury cards that will sell for 800 to 1,000 coins, and then injury cards ranging from some of them 300 to 400 coins, some of them up to 1,000 to 1,200 coins. And then that leaves like the odd kit and stuff here as well sells, but not really. And then that leaves fitness cards, the individual fitness cards. Now, like I said, last year I would sell those, and that would be a good one of the easiest ways to make profit off the bronze pack method last year was to just sell the fitness cards. This year, because there's so much rewards in packs, the fitness cards aren't really that. They don't sell as often yet. I'm sure they will in the future. Which means because normally I would rely on those to make the profit back because players didn't sell that much last year. There was the odd player here or there that sold, but typically speaking, players didn't sell last year. So because of that, this year I make the money off the players just over the long term, and then the fitness cards I use because it saves me A, having to buy fitness cards, and B, it saves me having to rotate teams and players in FUT Champs, which I just don't want to do. So what you're seeing on the screen now, guys, was the end of the stream. It was the end of the stream gameplay and such. Just 2 divisions games. I won them both. 6 more points in Division 3. Happy days. But let's go and get now into this week's FUT Champ. So guys, the next comment was from Louis Hickson. Just to show you some me selling some stuff. You can see 18 sold items on the trade pile. That was actually from the live stream. Some of the bronze packs that we were opening on the live stream. This is some of the stuff that we sold. I actually went into my club and sold a whole bunch of squad fitness cards, injury cards, healing cards, etc., etc. And that is what you see there. And then we move on to the team, the dream team so far. Of course, we go into today's games 10-0. Lacazette, Hazard, fantastic. Kante, Sigurdsson, Matic, Fekir. I love this team. This defense for me is crazy. People warned me against Lacazette. People warned me against Fekir, and people warned me against Kyle Walker at left back. I decided to go with my gut instinct on this occasion and go with the team that I thought was relevant and that I thought was going to be successful. And of course, we got 10 wins out of our first 10 games. However, you know, long way to go. No, we're not counting our chickens just yet. Louis Hickson says, are you going to invest in players that might get January upgrades? Example, Kante, Sanchez, etc. No, I'm personally not. I don't, you know, I don't condemn those that do. For me, it's just too big a risk because you don't know who's going to get upgraded, and because the way EA have done informs this year, like let me go into Foothead. Let me do my typical. Hold on, I'm not looking at the video. I'm on Foothead squad video. What am I saying? So for example, the Leipzig guy Forsberg, that Swedish guy who's got already 2 informs. He's a 76 base card as a left mid. He's then got an 82 left mid inform and an 84 cam inform. And it's likely he'll get team of the season, and it's likely he'll get 1 or 2 more informs along the way, right? So people are, like, he's extinct right now on PlayStation, and there's not many of him left on Xbox, because people are buying him, expecting him to get a January upgrade, and with that January upgrade, they're expecting his 84 cam to be boost massively. The thing I worry about, and the reason why I don't want to take the risk to invest, is because his initial card is a 76, and his first inform is an 82. Let's say EA just boost him up to an 81, that doesn't push the ceiling of his inform higher. So basically people are going to have invested in this guy because they're expecting his informs to get upgraded, and then he might get to a point where he gets upgraded to the point where it doesn't actually push up his inform, and everyone's wasted their money. And even if he does get upgraded to like an 82, that then pushes his 82 inform to an 83, but then the 84 still doesn't get upgraded. So because this is a new year, and because EA have given such huge boosts to informs initially, we don't know what they're going to do with upgrades. The upgrades, they may do the same. They may upgrade him from 76 to an 81. Sorry, to an 82, and then push his 82 to an 84 and his 84 to an 86. They may do that, but because we have nothing to quantify that, because we don't know what to expect for the first upgrades this year with how different FIFA is, I personally don't want to take the risk yet, but I do understand why those that do. Next is from Yash HD Gamer. It says, hey Nep, why do you not use Dimitri Payet instead of Fekir, Martial and Sissoko? So I was just trying stuff. I was just trying players at right forward, and I actually had Martial at left forward and Hazard at right forward for a few games. I tried Martial at right forward, I tried Sissoko at right forward, and there was nothing wrong with any of them, to be honest. The reason why I ended up settling with Fekir was for no other reason than I wanted Lacazette on 10 chemistry, not 8 chemistry. I looked at his in-games on Foothead with the chem style that I gave him, and I just wanted that full boost on him. So I was like, okay, so what I'll do is I'll settle for a player that is not necessarily going to be overpowered or not necessarily going to be helpful to the team, and then if he's not helpful, we can just sub him, through the game, and if he is good, then we unearth the gem. And so I basically went away from using other wingers to give Lacazette that 10 chem. Fekir gets the 10 chem. I switched around Kante and Sigurdsson as well, and that actually worked out really well for me, because I'll explain that in a second actually. But anyways, it turns out that Lacazette is just god tier. He is god tier. Everyone's told me, don't do Lacazette. Don't waste your coins. You know, he's expensive as well. He's an expensive one, mainly because there's about 4 teams in the League One that require a heavy amount of silvers, and they're just extinct. Toulouse, for example, that you need. They only have 1 right back and 1 right mid. And then like 3 left backs and 2 left mids, but all of the defenders are extinct. Like you can use a CDM in one of the positions and a goalkeeper in one of the positions, and then with the loyalty glitch still get 95 chemistry. But you need 3 of the 5 positions from the defence and the right mid. You need 3 of them. You need 2 centre backs and a right back, and then a goalkeeper and a CDM, or a left back and a right mid, and a right back and then a goalkeeper and a CDM in the centre back. You need those positions, and those players are just flat out extinct. So you have to pay 10k a man when they appear on the market. So I know Lacazette's expensive, and I think that's a lot of the reason why people said don't do him, he's not worth it. For me personally, I was looking for a clear-cut striker in this team. You know, I'd used Son there, I'd used Walcott there. By the way, watch this speed up lag. This is what speed up lag is. Before I go about what I was talking about, look at how the game's running. This is unedited. I haven't sped this up personally. This is just how this is what happens with speed up lag is the game freezes for one person. The other person on the other side, on the other screen, doesn't experience it. So they just carry on playing like normal. quite often, like, you'd think, oh, has this guy stopped playing? Has he put his controller down? Because I can't see anything. I can't do anything. And then all of a sudden the game catches up. The speed up lag pulls itself together. And it literally speeds through the process of what's just happened on your opponent's screen. And it's nonsense. I suffered one loss from it last weekend in the Weekend League. And although I actually went on to win this game and I suffered it's frustrating having to deal with it because you don't know when it's going to happen and in what, like, if it happens when, like, you're about to take a penalty or something, you're going to miss the penalty. You know, it could be game changing. What's interesting is I'd never suffered with speed up lag until I moved down to Bournemouth. Literally the first weekend I started playing Weekend League in Bournemouth, I experienced speed up lag. I said to Bates, like, oh, I've got speed up lag, and I thought, okay, I was on Virgin Media up in London, so I asked Bates on what ISP he's got, and he's on BT Broadband. I'm also on BT Broadband now down here in Bournemouth, which would go as far to indicate that BT Broadband is the reason speed up lag occurs. So whatever the connection, however it works between BT and EA, there's something in the wavelength somewhere that causes a speed up lag, which is very, very frustrating to deal with. However, I tried Son at striker, I tried Walcott, I tried Mane at striker. Sorry, Sane. No, Mane. One of maybe both. But I've tried different players at striker, and I just always felt like I was missing something. And I wanted Lukaku. I had considered Aguero, but because his inform was impacted, his gold card was a higher price. So I thought, you know what? Let me go and I'm going to get this SBC Hazard Lacazette at one point or another. Why not now? Let's do it now. So I went and did it then. We end up picking it up. Happy days. So we're 12-1 right now, guys. We end up losing our 11th game. Very frustrated with the loss. I lost on penalties, potentially should have been a win. I felt like I was a better player even though the match stats were quite even. We then came up against this absolute monster team. Inform Pogba, 95 Ronaldo, Suarez, Messi, Hullet, Baresi, Zanetti, Neuer, Boateng, Alaba, and then of all players, Renato Sanchez. People absolutely love Renato Sanchez. And this game for me started off unbelievably well. I was so impressed with myself playing against a team like this. You know, I'm 12-1, I'm coming up against good opponents, I'm playing good FIFA, and we end up getting in behind and we go 1-0 up, that low driven shot OP. And one of the things I was mentioning to you guys a minute ago is I switched over Kante and Sigurdsson to make sure that Kante gets full chem, because Sigurdsson wouldn't get chem on the right hand side of midfield because he needs a strong link in there because of Fekir. So I switched Kante over there because Kante does link with Fekir as we go 2-0 up in this game. The switch was massive for me. For some reason, I favour playing down the right-hand side. I don't know why. It's strange to say because I actually score a lot of goals with Eden Hazard, but I favour that right-hand side of midfield at least. Bellerin, Kante and Matic, and then Fekir, Lacazette and Hazard. Like, if you cut the team straight down like that, you basically could eradicate my left centre-back, my left-back and my left centre-mid, as they just don't touch the ball as I go 3-0 up in this game. I play down the right heavily, and Kante is just a beast. Like, he's so fun to play with. Now, I went 3-0 up in this game, and I was genuinely cruising. If you skip back 10 seconds of the video, you'll see when I scored a third goal, it says that he's had no shots. You know, he's not touched the ball, he's not in the game. He gets a nice goal there with Renato Sanchez, a left-footed shot across the away. We go to half-time, and I wanted to show the half-time stats here because I was dominating. The dude had 1 shot on target, 2 shots in general. I controlled possession, I was controlling the shots. After he scored that goal on the stroke of half-time with Renato Sanchez, I genuinely couldn't touch the ball. I don't believe in handicap, and I don't believe in scripting, but I do believe that momentum is in this game. And I also believe that I know how to change it. I know in my experience, if you make a substitution, the momentum switches. However, I made a substitution. I played around with a few things. Whatever happened after he scored that goal, everything he did just turned to goals. He had a weak shot that hit the post and he got the rebound. My defence was just stood still staring. He gets an incredible finish with Luis Suarez to make it 3-3. He then gets through here with Ronaldo. Look at this. We pop a tackle in there. He wins the ball back. We should be winning the ball there. I don't know why the defender slid. And then Butland literally just is like frozen to the spot as Pogba shoots. And he goes 4-0 up. And I can't tell you how tilted I was at this point to have lost a game. He scored a 5th goal because I went all out attack, and he just put me to the sword at that point. He had an incredible team, and he was a good player as well. I was just so angry with myself that I'd thrown away a 3-goal lead, and you can see here My Jack Butland made 0 saves. 0. No saves. That has, in a game where I've conceded so many goals and so many shots, that has got to be the first time that has ever happened. I've had games where he's made 0 saves before, where my opponents just haven't had shots and stuff. And you see the match stats by the end of the game, I didn't have a shot in the second half. I couldn't touch the ball. I don't know what changed. I don't know how it changed. I could not touch the ball. So we go 12-2. So we are now 2 wins, 2 losses this episode. I was so angry because after such a good start, being 10-0, I felt like I had a real good chance to get Elite 1 this weekend. You know, I needed 24 wins from 30 games. That's a good record. You know, that's an 8-2 ratio for the rest of the 30 games. Win 4, lose 1. Win 4, lose 1. Win 4, lose 1. I would have been content with that. I think it would have been an easy, like a relatively, not an easy, but a relatively easy thing to achieve. As long as I played good FIFA, because I was still playing good FIFA. You know, even though I'd lost 2 games, I lost 1 on penalties, should have potentially won it. I lost 1 after being 3-0 up. So you can understand my frustrations of being 10-0 to being 12-2 to potentially being 14-0. You know, I was really, really frustrated with myself. And I carried that frustrations into the next game, which was just a huge mistake. Yeah, you see here as well, you're seeing me make all this money off of these bronze players. This is why bronze pack method is OP, man. I got on this account, that squad builder challenge came out, I listed all the items, I made an absolute killing. Dave Bob says, hi Nep, when is overall forgetting SBCs the best time to buy and sell? So, forgetting SBCs, dude, the best time to buy is Sunday evening or Monday, because that's when everyone is dumping their FUT Champions players. And the best time to sell is Thursday night and Friday, because that's when everyone's buying FUT Champions players. And this weekend coming up specifically, you'll probably see the market not crash, but it will definitely dip quite heavily off the back of the fact that next weekend is required 3 nations only as a maximum. So people that have like let's say you've got like a full BPL team and you've got like all the best players, so Torre, Hazard, Aguero, Willian, Matic, Koscielny, Company, Walker, Courtois or Lloris. There's way more than 3 nations there. So what people will do is buy the best of the alternate nations that they can afford to, so they have to sell the players they have, and they want to sell them quickly because they want to be able to buy their team to be able to practice with their team, so they undercut. So when there's specifications for the weekend league, the market seems to dip a little bit more heavily than when there aren't. So in this occasion, I think this Sunday night coming up, or Monday, I think you're going to get players that you might potentially want for super cheap. In my experience, you know, through the first 2 months of this FIFA cycle, I could obviously be wrong. I hope I'm not. I hope I'm advising well with that. But that is that in my opinion is the situation at hand. Now for the next game, guys. I went into a game against, it turns out he was a viewer, he had previously beaten Bateson, NLD 3108, and you might have seen me have a few Twitter interactions with this guy. I was tilted already going into this game because I'd just lost to that guy after being 3-0 up. I'd lost 2 out of 4 games after having a sensational start, and I was quite tilted. And one thing that was frustrating about this game was that my opponent ended up getting a goal to go 1-0. Look at that, I tackle him very nicely there, it pops back to him, and now look at it's hard to see, but my defender is on the floor. The defender that should be intercepting that pass got like bowled over by his attacker, and the ref gave him the advantage. He then ended up getting a corner, and it is, to be fair, this is just a nice goal. No qualms about that. It's a really lovely goal. Just terrible defending by me, and he went 2-0 up in the 20th minute. At this point, he went part the bus, passed the ball around his defence, and changed his formation. And I tweeted out about that EA just need to not allow custom formations. And some people were like, "What? There's nothing wrong with that formation. It's a 4-2-3-1." But that formation, his Matic and Jensen are where the centre backs pretty much should be in a normal formation. He brought the centre backs even deeper, the CDMs to basically centre backs, and Payet down into CDM. So he basically had like 7 defenders and 3 attackers. And it was frustrating to play against. And he said, you know, sorry, you got to do what you got to do to win in FUT Champs. And I entirely appreciate that. It doesn't make it any less frustrating to play against. There are times, and people called it out, where I bring Matic back to a CDM spot, but for me, like, that's like slightly different, because what I do is I bring a centre mid in a flat 3 down to CDM. Now I've got 4 defenders, 1 CDM, 2 centre mids, and my attacker. It's still like, it's basically a 4-1-2-1-2, but instead of with 2 strikers, 1 cam, it's like 2 wingers and 1 striker. Like it's still an attacking formation, in my opinion. Like, so although I do move that defensive mind, you know, I do move that midfielder down. It's not like I move him down to centre back and then move the other 2 mids down to CDM and move the wingers down to midfielders and move the striker down to cam. I don't bring everyone back because I like playing positive FIFA. And ever since I've started going attacking at the start of every game, I've started winning more games. I like playing positive FIFA, even if it does cost me games from time to time. There are a few occasions where at 1-0 up very late on in the game, I could quite easily go for ultra defensive, park the bus and kill the game. But I personally don't like to do that. I know why people do it. I understand why people do it. But yeah, I was so tilted. I was so frustrated that he played like that. And I understand why he played like that. And he knew who I was, and that is why he played like that. He literally tweeted saying, to get a win against an elite YouTuber is a big thing or something like that. So he literally played like that because of who I was, and that just frustrated me. And although he didn't break any rules, he didn't do anything against the game's terms of service, he just changed formation in the game and he played a bit sweaty. And it's entirely allowed, and many people do it, and there have been occasions where I've done it myself. It doesn't mean that I can't get frustrated because it happened. I'm still allowed to get frustrated because it's frustrating. Like, you know, just because it happened against me and not against you, or because sometimes you do it, I understand why people do it, but yeah, it was frustrating. So after that game, I took a bit of a break from FIFA, and I went and watched the Arsenal game. I didn't play anymore that day until later on after the Arsenal game, later on in the evening. And once I came back with a clear mind. I thought, you know what, no, screw it. Even though we went from 10-0 to 12-3, because I'd lost 3 of 5 games, I'm going to sit there, I'm going to focus, and I'm going to play good FIFA because I know I'm playing good. The odd anomaly game is bound to happen in a 40-game cycle. You know, we're playing 40 games over the weekend. I'm not going to win them all, and even in games that I deserve to win, I'm not going to win them all either. And there are occasions in games where I lose, and I should lose, sorry, and I win those games. So, you know, I've got to take the bumps and just kind of like brush myself down. Understand that, hey, I've got a great team here on my hands. I'm really, really enjoying the team I'm playing with. And I've got a really, really good run right now. I'm playing good FIFA. I've got a great team. I'm feeling good. So just brush it off. And that's what I did. And I came back and you can see I won the game straight away. So now we're 13-3. We hit a win streak straight away again. And 13-3 is good. My aim is to get 8 wins, 2 losses per 10 games. So if I can go and get up to 16 wins with just the 1 more loss, that's the average of 8 wins and 2 losses per 10 games, because we'd be at 16-4 after 20. So we're carried on, and we came up against this guy. What a team that is. Red Manolas, Red Walcott. And the fact that he's got those 2 reds indicates that that is an elite winner, not a gold winner. Because gold, you get 3 red cards. Elite, you get 12 red cards. And unless he was unbelievably lucky, which he may well have been, I don't think that he got those 2 in the gold 3-pack. I mean, I got lucky and I didn't even get that good. I didn't get that lucky, and mine was really, really lucky. So I was playing good football, as I said, and it was time to just focus and get back onto winning ways, and that's exactly what we did. And on that note, on the note of me discussing, like, me taking a break, Shaquille Puri says, what is the best way to space out my games in Foot Champions? Me personally, I have an initial split of 10, 15 and 15, or 15, 12 and 13. I basically break it down into three days of compartmentalized FIFA. So, you know, day 1 I'll play about a third of the games, maybe a little bit less. Day 2, about a third of the games, and day 3, the rest of the games. So that's Friday, Saturday, Sunday. Then what I personally do is I break it into 2 game segments. I'll play 2 games in a row and then take a break, no matter what. 10, 15, 20 minutes, 30 minutes if I've got it in time, and I'll just keep doing that. Two games in a break, 2 games in a break. And then if I hit a bad streak, or if I'm getting frustrated, if I'm getting tilted, I will take a long break, like a 1 to 2 hour break, knowing that I've probably already cleared 6 to 8 games, or maybe 10 to 12 games, and there's not that many left for the day. Take a nice long break, come back fresh, and not agitated at the game. And that seems to be working for me personally. I know some people like to get them all out of the way straight all at once, just to get it over and done with. Some people would like to wait as long as possible. Some people don't have the time to play them all. But yeah, that's personally for me how I do it. David Crackham, as we get ourselves another win. So straight back on a good winning streak now, 2 wins in a row. David Crackham says, hey Nep, I like your Road to Glory a lot, but can you tell me if you use any custom tactics or default ones? thanks, but you probably won't read this. I read it. I don't use custom tactics, dude. Everything for me is default. I do player instructions. I set my fullbacks to stay back while attacking. I set my central centre midfielder, Matic in my case, to stay back while attacking. I set all 3 of my attackers to stay central and get in behind through the player instructions. And then for custom tactics, I do set the custom tactics to cover instead of offside trap, but it's not relevant for me because of the D-pad tactics that I use. So when I go into a game, I go attacking, I go counter-attack, and when you set yourself as counter-attack on the D-pad tactics, it by default sets you to cover instead of offside trap. So I basically don't use custom tactics at all. Maybe it would change my game, maybe it would change my luck a little bit if I did. Maybe I'd win more, but what I find is I'm winning like 30 or more games every weekend right now, and on the weekends where I don't win 30 or more, I'm winning like 27 or 28. I'm winning a lot of games right now without getting custom tactics. I'm worried that if I change something, it will end up causing a negative effect rather than a positive effect, and it will end up costing me more games to the point where I'll just lose more games, and I just don't want to do that. So, I'm currently under those one of those kind of, if it ain't broke, don't fix it kind of things. I'm winning a lot of games. I'm improving the team week on week. I'm improving as a player week on week, I feel. And I personally believe it is just a matter of time now before I get Elite 1. And the way I'm playing on this current weekend, without wanting to jinx myself, touch wood, this may be the weekend for me to get Elite 1. 34 wins for Elite 1. You can see here we are playing good FIFA. I think we're currently 14-3 as you stand right here. But we're winning games. We're going on good win streaks, which is obviously very nice. Uriel Guerrero says, "Hey Nep, you think there'll be an SBC for Team of the Season?" Yes, because EA have removed the online tournaments the way we used to know them, which is where we was able to win the footies cards and win the Team of the Season cards. I think they'll do SBCs for those instead this time around. So I think for the first Team of the Season, which is usually the rest of the world, not rest of the world, the most consistent, I have a feeling we'll have a squad builder challenge that also you earn a most consistent Team of the Season player. I think it's brilliant. I think it'll be good for the game. It'll be fun for Team of the Season. And EA can do it for more than one player. 10 players, 20 players, 100 players. They can do whatever they want. And I love FIFA for this. I love what they've done with squad building challenges. I love what they're doing with the game in general. I find it to be highly enjoyable right now. And I'm very excited for Team of the Year and Team of the Season to see what EA bring, and for Footmus as well, and for the the what would it be now, 8 years of FUT. I'm excited for what EA are going to be bringing us, man. I really am. It's Rezi says, "Wait, what's the new Ballon d'Or name?" The new Ballon d'Or is now just called The Best. I don't know why they called it The Best. So yeah, they're going to be like, because Ronaldo's likely to win it, right? Because won the Champions League and the Euros with Portugal, and he's had a great year outside of that anyway. And the winner of The Best is Ronaldo. Like, what? Come on, man. Be a bit more creative. Toby May Gaming says, "Nep, are you ever going to do a draft?" Yes. One of the squad building challenges much earlier over the weekend was for a draft token, the marquee matchups. I completed it. I've got a draft token. I might do it offline. I might do an offline draft and just see if I get lucky with the rewards, because sometimes you get good rewards. I might do an online draft if I can find the time, but in general, I will be using that draft token and will be doing a draft. QB37 says, "Bro, you're looking great. Did you lost weight?" And thank you for the compliment. I mean, what, like a little backstory. What we got left here? About 2, 3, 4 minutes. A little backstory is I used to run a pub for my dad, for my family business. We still own the pub. I just don't work there anymore. And I was active as hell. I used to be in gym 5 times a week, and running a pub is straining physically. Like moving the cellar around, I had to clean the cellar every 2 days. And because we was a successful, very busy pub, basically had to clean the cellar floor every 2 days whilst there were hundreds of barrels of beer. So I'd have to shift all the barrels of beer over to one side of the cellar, clean the floor, shift them all over to the other side of the cellar, clean the floor. And I would just burn calories like you wouldn't believe. On top of that, the cellar obviously base level, bar, like ground level, running up and down the stairs was a nightmare. My office was downstairs, so I'd constantly burn calories running up and down the stairs. And then the kitchen was the floor above, and that we had no dumb waiter, right? A dumb waiter is like one of those things in the wall where the food goes up and down, so people had to run up and down the stairs to pick up the food. I was also one of the people who did that, so I was always burning thousands of calories per day. And back then, obviously, back in my youth, as cliche as it sounds, I would eat junk and drink soda all the time because I was just burning so many calories a day on top of going gym 5 times a week, where it just didn't affect me. Fast forward a few years to when I started doing YouTube full time as a 27, 28-year-old, and all that physical exercise stopped. I was going to the gym intermittently, once a week, sometimes twice a week, but ultimately I was no longer running up and down probably 200 to 300 flights of stairs a day. I was no longer moving barrels around. I was just sitting in my office chair playing video games, and it took a long time for my metabolism to slow down. But as with age and with lack of exercise over the years, by the time I got to 29, 30 as well, I got super depressed. I got like quite fat. Like I put on a massive guard. Like you can never really see it in my shoulders and face because I'm broad, like, so it doesn't really bother me there. But yeah, I put on a crap ton of weight, and I was embarrassed of how I looked. I was very embarrassed because I was in good physical shape in my younger the early 20s. So I was embarrassed to look how I looked. I wouldn't go out in public. If I did go out, I would have a hoodie on because I was just embarrassed with the way my body looked. I would avoid like gatherings and such at all costs. And eventually I decided it just had to change. And it took a while. I started going back to the gym for like a month or two, and then I gave up. And then I started going back to the gym again for like a month, and then I gave up. And then last year, I basically pretty much the start of this year, really, like March, April this year, I started hitting the gym again hard. I went to the gym consecutively 3 months, but more importantly, I cleaned up my diet. I just stopped drinking soda, I stopped eating crisp snacks, sweets, and all that kind of crap. And I started eating healthy. I started eating a lot of fruit. I started drinking a whole bunch more water. You can see the water. I don't know if you can see the water cooler there. So I just basically like really cleaned up my diet. And although I haven't actually been to the gym now since the start of FIFA 17, because it absorbs your time, man. The Foot Champ specifically, running 2 channels, being a father, moving house, it's just absorbed my time. And now I've moved house, I'm going to go and find a gym again. I think there's one like 5 minutes away. But in amongst all that time, I've still been eating healthily. Actually, the last few days, funnily enough, I started drinking Dr. Pepper again, like a little more than I should. Again, just through the fact that, it's like the move and stuff, it's just stressful, man. Like sometimes you just need one of your like one of your go-to things. You need one of your I can't remember what they're called, but you need a vice basically every now and then. And for me, just drinking soda and eating crap is my vice. So yeah, over the last sort of like 8 months, I've just been eating so clean that I've just naturally lost weight. I've still got a little bit of a tummy. I still need to lose it. My muscle definition as a 32-year-old is disappearing. I need to hit the gym for that. But I'm in good condition right now. And it's just through clean eating, man. Clean eating and healthy living, dude. So, but yeah, off the back of that, I have lost a bit of weight. Now, after a horrendous start, guys, losing 3 of the first 5 games, we're on a 5-game win streak. We finished the 20 games on 17 wins, which I'm very happy with in the grand scheme of things. But I'm actually a little bit upset with, because I genuinely could be 20-0 right now. I really should be at least 19-1. Alas, we are 17-3. This is going to be the end of the video. Thank you for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it, and I'll see you next time. I'm out. Peace.